Well, hello there. Glad to have your company. Good morning to everybody. If you've not joined us before now, where have you been? Where have you been? Do stay with us. Paul.
Good morning.
How are you?
Very well, thank you, yes.
Good,
Full of joys of spring. Is it spring yet?
Do you know, it feels like it.
It does.
I
It's
think
lovely
it
and sunny
does.
outside,
It's
doesn't
been
it?
mild, hasn't it? Still raining, but it's been mild. Now, we've got some wonderful, wonderful items for you. Now, do watch out for the savings as well. We've got some incredible savings for you. We will go through them, of course. Now, we're already busy for this collection that we're going to bring to you first of all. Paul, this is brand new. Tell us about it.
Okay, so basically what we've got here, we've got 3 different collections, and people may be familiar with the designs because they were originally our fresh cut dies.
Yeah.
So what we've done, the girls in the office have turned them into beautiful A6 square baby plates. So the first collection, available separately if you wanted to, is the room with a view. So you've got 4 beautiful signs there that work individually, but they also tessellate as well, exactly the same
wonderful.
as the dies. So for example, if I hold this sample up, you can see how you can join them together. And what's great is that because they're a Groovi plate, there's no masking off.
That is so clever. That is so, so clever. I've just remembered something looking at that. I shall speak to you about it a little bit later.
Okay. You buying a new car?
No. Now then, individually, you can see the details at the bottom of the screen, but do stay with us, of course, because we have got some tremendous savings. £19.96 for a set of 4 if you are going for the individuals. So that is the first option if you're going for the individuals there. Then we are looking at the whole collection at the same time, though, of course. Now, the comfy carts, I really like this.
So these are great. So again, designed by the lovely Mel. All of these have been designed by our lovely Mel. Again, originally in fresh cut dies. These were a one-day special earlier this year in the die version. And again, they tessellate as well. So you've got the 4 individual plates and you can take the various different elements. But if we look at those top 2, you can see how that plant and the curtains, by bringing them together, join up. And in my first demo, I'm going to show you how you can easily do that.
Oh wow, we're just looking at a sample here where you can see 2 of those plates joined together.
Isn't that gorgeous?
It is so clever, Paul, it really is. It's seamless, absolutely seamless.
Yes. And again, you become the designer, and that's one of the great things with the Groovi system, is that you pick and choose the different elements. So for me, they're sort of more versatile.
They really are, and I've got to show you a couple of samples while we're right here. Again, the design team always do an incredible job. I'm just noticing this is from Glynis. So lots of colour in this one, Paul.
Yeah, so that's using some of the new designer papers as well. But then again, you can sort of see, if we bring this one in, this one's from Josie.
Look at that.
I mean, look at that, just in the black parchment and the designer paper behind it. It's the Indian Summer 12 by 12. But look how gorgeous that is.
That is stunning, isn't it? So
Beautiful.
You can go from bright colours, lots of colour, to something like that there, which is, it's got drama behind it. And then kind of in the middle as well, this one here from Jane. That is beautiful as well, just using one of the plates there, but of course you can do all that work around the edge if you wanted to as well.
And when we look at the plate, for example, you're only getting half of that plant because they're on 2 separate plates. So what Jane's done is she's combined both of them together.
That is so clever. Wow, very clever. Details at the bottom of the screen if you want to go for that option on its own, but hang on for those details for the full collection. We've got one more selection to show you. So we've got man's best friend here. Of course, the dogs have got to be included, haven't they?
That's right. So again, you've got the 4 beautiful plates, and you've got what I love about the houses behind it as well. And again, you can remove the people and the dogs from it and just have the houses. So these are great for the new homes. You could do sort of like a village, or sort of like a get-together. And again, when you look at some of the samples from the design team, how different they look.
They certainly do. In fact, incredibly different. If I show you this one first of all, so again, just using one of the plates.
This one,
a
Linda.
very different look on the next one. This one's Jane's. Look at that, that's really clever.
See, I love this because what Jane's done is she's used our basic grids to infill the actual inside of it.
That's so clever. And then this one from Glynis, just have a look at this one.
This is gorgeous, this one. So it's a sort of a gatefold card. So you've got the beautiful houses and the man and the woman walking the dogs. And then when we open it up,
look at
you've got the beautiful, I mean, look at that, that colouring in on that it looks velvet, doesn't it?
Really
That
does.
armchair.
It certainly does. Do you know that would make a great Christmas card in those colours as well?
It would, wouldn't it? Yeah.
You could add a little bit of glitter
and can
or
you see the
something
little
on
cat
there as well.
peeking out behind the curtain? Let me in.
Oh, that is so clever. There we are. So the third option, if you want to go for the individuals, bottom of the screen again there, you can see that's man's best friend. But most of you, you've caught onto this before we even went live on air. You're going for the full collection. And why wouldn't you? When we talk about value here, Paul, you've got 12 individual pet plates, but
for the
really
price of
you
9.
only pay for 9.
Exactly.
There is a great saving. There's a freedom price as well. We've got freedom frenzy going on as well, so if you're not a freedom member, you can have that month's freedom, of course. It is over £40, so you do qualify for that straight away. There we are. If you're an existing freedom member, then you will get your £6.97 reduced down, as long as you put the code in there. In fact, taking that off, it's £33.42.
So that is nearly half price
from the
of
original
the complete
price.
bundle. The original price should be £60, just under £60.
Yeah.
So if you're an existing Freedom Club member and you quote that, it's £33.
Wow.
Wow.
It really is a deal. No wonder you're going for the full collection. You've got the best of everything there. 011406. Very, very busy. Now, if you want somewhere to put your dies or your plates, well, we've got one here with the plates in, haven't
Exactly.
we?
So
These
it's
folders.
all about the storage. So you're going to get a pair of two of the A5 baby plate folders in here. And you can see it's great because you can put your plates in there. The little stickers you put on the outside of the sleeves so that you know where to put them back into. But this is holding all 12 and there's still plenty of room to hold more.
I just flick
it's
to
not
the
even
back
halfway
there.
through.
Look, you've got plenty to go at there. So you're getting 2 of the A5 folders. So these will hold your dies as well, will they, Paul?
No, we do separate ones for dies.
Right,
yeah.
so these are for your baby plates.
Just for your Groovi, yeah.
Lovely. 926079 is the item number. £13.96, of course. Now, the original dies that match or correspond, of course, with the plates today, all available on the website. So if you missed out on those before, you can certainly go and find those. Now, look at that 5-star reviews as well. So we've got all those wonderful options for you there, really beautiful. I do remember when these were launched, the dies, Paul, and that's what I'm going to speak to you about in a little while, actually.
Okay.
I'm so pleased to see the plates that go with them, though.
Yeah, I think
really
it's nice because we obviously design and manufacture ourselves. The dies that are obviously manufactured abroad because they can't be manufactured in the UK. So it's nice when we can look at the designs and we can turn them into stamps, we can turn them into stencils and Groovi. And for me, the most versatile out of all of them is the Groovi because you can pick and choose the different elements.
Definitely.
And when you've got beautiful designs from Mel, it's just a no-brainer, really.
It really is. They are gorgeous, and we are very busy. You can see phone lines are very busy. If you want to go to the website, quickest and easiest way to shop, but do hang in there. We will get to you.
Okay, so I need to say thank you to Karen Jackson because obviously we've been running around. We was in Glasgow last week, so she's prepped the demos for me. So this one here, this is gorgeous, using 2 of the comfy cat plates, and just to show you how easy it is to join them up to make a bigger card.
That looks so effective, doesn't it?
It's gorgeous,
I love the
isn't
softness of colour in there as well.
And you've got the softness in the colour in relation to the colouring in, but then in the background, you've got the beautiful Indian summer designer paper, the 12 by 12, and it just really brings it together.
That is beautiful.
Okay, so where do we start?
Right, where indeed.
So what we're going to do, we'll work on the black mat just for ease to start off with. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is we've got all my plates together.
Now we're only 9 minutes into the show and already 10% of the full collection has already gone. We have got queues on the phone line still, so just a reminder, you can go to the website. It is the quickest and easiest way to shop, but do hang on in there. We will get to you if you are hanging on the phone lines.
Okay, so I'm going to take some A5 parchment and I'm using the Pico rectangle plate.
Okay.
So you get the dies and you also get the plate as part of the collection.
Lovely.
And what I'm going to do, I'm going to position that onto my plate and I'll just tape it down with one tab, just to start off with. And we'll wipe with the tumble dry sheet. Okay. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to take one of the baby plates and I'm going to line it up to where it matches up. Now, I think it was just a coincidence that when the girls were designing these, that it actually fits perfectly within one of the layers on the rectangle. Okay. So I'm going to take my number 1 tool that comes with the starter kit. Okay. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And all I'm going to do is just come down there, because that, if I put that together, you can see is the same.
It does, it matches perfectly,
perfectly.
doesn't it?
So I'll take my Groovi guard just to lean on.
Okay.
And we'll just go in and we're going to put that line in place. We're going to put the second line in as well.
Okay.
And then I'm going to turn it round because it's easier. I find it easier coming towards me.
Yeah.
And then we're going to continue, but don't go right up to the corner, because if you go right up to the corner, sometimes you get carried away and you can go round the corner a little bit. So I'm just staying away from that corner. And then we'll do the same on this side. Okay. So again, the Groovi guard helps me hold the parchment in place, and it allows me to put those beautiful straight crisp lines in.
Lovely.
Okay, so this is one part of it. Now I could guess and work out roughly where it is, but you don't need to guess because there's a really easy way of doing it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring my plate mate in that comes with the starter kit.
Okay.
Now the new starter kit now has the Groovi inset plate adapter.
Right. Okay, lovely.
So if you're looking to start a new hobby, then the Groovi plate starter kit is great because you've got everything in there, and it means that your little baby plates will fit in there perfectly.
I see.
Okay. Now, if you've already got the starter kit, we've also got on the show the Groovi inset with A5 parchment.
Okay.
Okay.
Lovely. So options for everybody, of course. Now the deluxe starter kit is there on the screen. Got a flexi-buy option if you want to take it as well. 2 payments of £27.50. And then at the bottom we've got the Groovi insert plate with the baby tags plate and 20 sheets of A5 parchment paper. So great if you have already got the original starter kit, just £12.98 for that bundle, 106,529.
Okay. So as you can see now, what I've done is I've laid my parchment over the top, and it just lines up perfectly with that line on the actual Groovi plate. And then all I want to do is, I'm not going to trace all of it out because I just want to get my outer line in place first. So if I put the plant in, and then the flower pot, and then what it is, it's the pieces that are going to sort of join from the other plate. So I'm just going to bring that in just there. Oh, okay, yeah. So now this gives me my guide on where I'm going to line up my second plate. So now what I can do is I'm going to move that one out the way. No, I'm not. I'm going to bring that one back in. Pop that back in. There we go. Oh, all fingers and thumbs. There we go. So the inset goes in there. Lovely. And then I'm going to bring the other plate into play, which lines up. Okay, and then all I'm going to do, because I've used a rectangle, I can get that lined up, and then I can just bring that plate over so that I get the rest of the design.
So clever.
Okay, and then what I can do is go in and join up the plant.
And as we said earlier, you can do that absolutely seamlessly.
Yeah, so it looks as if it's always meant to be there, that it wasn't 2 separate plates. And then all I'm going to do is just put that line down there. Okay. And then I can go back to my nested rectangle. I can line it back up where it needs to be. So that's the one there. Okay. And because I can see through the parchment, it just makes it so much. And what you'll find is that those grooves that I've already created will go back into the groove. You can actually feel them sort of slot back in. Okay. And then what you're going to do is just continue that rectangle.
Look at that. Perfect.
See, it's the tools that make it so much easy to do. Okay, so I've now got the rectangle, so now I can go back in and fill it in. But just to get what you want to do is get your actual size to start with, and then go back in and fill it in.
Very easy to do when you see it. Actually, it's a really good demonstration. So anybody, I'm just going to show this again, actually. This is the card that Paul is going to achieve. So you can see where you've got that beautiful, seamless connection there in the centre. You can't see a connection at all. In fact, it's not a great word to use because it just isn't there.
No, it's as if that was the plate, how it was designed, when in fact you're using two plates together because you've got that beautiful tessellation.
Definitely. And it really does open up the options for you, doesn't it? Love it.
Okay, so once you've spent the time, this is what it's going to look like when you trace it out. Now, the other plates, I could have chosen this one with the 3 cats on it, and one of the other plates has got this one on it, the other half of this plant. So I could have gone with those 2 designs if I wanted. So it's all about sort of the versatility and looking at the designs to see how you want to sort of build up the design. And
the little cat that's peering there, could you have that peering from behind a plant pot or something as well?
Yeah, I mean, if you didn't trace him out, you could put him behind there, you could have him coming out from behind there.
They do actually look as though they're playing hide and seek,
yeah,
don't they?
It does, doesn't it? And that one's there going, oi, behave yourself. So I thought what we'll do, we're going to do little bits of techniques, because rather than trace it all out, because obviously people have seen that several times, but you can see how easy it is to trace out when I was just doing that lining up anyway. Okay, so then what we're going to do, when I'm colouring in, I like to work on the light panel, okay, because it's nicer to sort of work with the design. So I'm going to bring my light panel into play.
Okay.
And we've got these on the show, and you've got 3 different levels of brightness to it. Okay.
So have you got that on the brightest
I've
level
got this on the brightest because I know it's easier for the cameras because of the flickering. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to sort of position it down. Now, for me personally, colouring in, I like to colour in with pencils.
Okay.
So we've got the pergaliner pencils, and you've got a selection of wax-based and watercolour pencils in the collection. Now, a lot of people think that when you're colouring in, you need to go on heavy, but all I'm going to do is just scribble very, very lightly with the wax-based pencil.
Okay. Now we have got the pergaliners for you. You can see the details on the screen. So you get in 20 aquarelle pencils and 16 of the basic pencils as well. With a great saving again, a £5 saving in fact, £24.99 is the price. Item number 418768, and these really are fabulous. And they come in a lovely tin, don't they, as well,
They
Paul?
do, yeah, it comes in a nice box, but we know from experience that a lot of people that are into Groovi have their pink tool organisers, and then obviously you store them in there. So you've got everything in there.
And the holders are available on the website as well.
On the website, yep. If you just go to brands and you go to Pergamano, you'll be able to find the tool organisers on there.
Wonderful.
So all I've done is I've just scribbled in some colour, and it looks, I mean, I suppose it looks a bit as if it's a rough and ready sort of old armchair, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But what we're going to do, that for me, the magic of the pencils comes with the Dorso oil and the blending pen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of the Dorso oil onto a spot-on sponge.
Okay.
And the Dorso oil comes with the crayons. I mean, I'm using the pencils, but if you go for the Dorso oil with the Dorso crayons, you can use those to colour in as well.
Lovely.
Okay.
Lots of options, haven't you?
So I've put a new nib in, and I've just put a tiny little bit, so I'm just blotting off some of it onto the sponge. And then all you're going to do is just work in a circular motion, and you can see how it starts to break down the pigment of the pencil and give you a nicer, soft finish. See, and there's so much oil on there. See, again, for me, the colouring in and the Groovi, the tracing out, is very sort of relaxing.
Yeah.
And it's clean, there's no mess. And that's the type of crafting I like.
But these aren't messy either, once you get to the colouring.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's why I love it, because it's not messy.
It is, do you know, I find it relaxing just watching somebody colour, let alone doing it myself.
See, and I still haven't topped up any more of the oil, and you can see how we sort of just start to move it around.
So you're not seeing any of that scratchiness that where
No,
you've done
because
some of your
the
scribble.
oil is just blending it all out really, really nice. So should I do a little bit of colouring? I'll carry on and colour this in and show how we can sort of build it up.
Lovely.
And then I'll let you go down the counter.
Wonderful. Well, we will tell you about the blending pen kit. You can see the details for that right now as well. £12.43. We're always busy on this one. Of course, you're going to get the tool with the 23 nibs and the tweezers as well. So if you want to stock up, if you want to restock on the nibs, you can. If you've not got those already, then of course you can go for them now. Item number 781285. Now, if you are new to Groovi, we've already mentioned the starter kit. Well, of course, that's available for you. This is the new deluxe starter kit. So you get that insert for the baby plates already included. It's a great kit to go with, especially, of course, if this is the first time you're thinking about working with Groovi. And there's a flexi-buy option as well. There you go. Details on the screen, 946594. 2 payments of £27.50 if you're taking flexi. And then we'll give you one more set of details as well before we have a reminder of a few other things. If you have the original starter kit, this is where you won't already have that insert, so this is what you will need. You'll need to go for the Groovi inset plate with the baby tags, the plate, the 20 sheets of A5 parchment paper, all for a fantastic price, I've got to say, of £12.98, item number 106529. There we are, something for absolutely everyone. Now, the full collection proving to be very, very busy. Of course, you're going to get 12 plates in the full collection. You can go for the individuals. You can, if you just want to go for one, you can certainly do that. But of course, the value is in the full collection. So let's go through it again because, well, we've got so many offers here with, of course, the event going on as well. So let's start with Room with a View first of all. So details are going to be appearing at the bottom of the screen, I think, of course, for the individuals, but do take notice of the savings on the full collection. So, of course, these, you can tessellate them, they all join together. I'm going to show you that wonderful sample again that Paul did show us at the beginning. So you can see all 4 of these plates can be put together. They just look so wonderful, don't they? I love the effect of the blinds at the top here, so you're looking through the windows as well. There you are, so that's Room with a View. You've got 4 individual plates there, which you can see. Now, I'm just going to show you the individuals just as they are, just using your tool, of course, to bring it onto that parchment paper so you can see the white detail. So you've got there, look at that, beautiful. Got a windy path in there, the little cottages are in there as well. You've got the cows in the field as well on that one. And, of course, you've got your car there. Really lovely. So use them individually, join them together. There's options for you there. Now, back to the full collection. The second selection within that collection is the comfy carts. These are what Paul is using right now. I absolutely love the card that's being worked on currently. Of course, you can see where you can join those plates. You've got those different options regarding, you know, the plants you want to put together. You have got those choices. You don't have to put all of the cats in. You could continue the window frame down if you wanted to and remove one of the cats or reposition it. There's options again there. Now, we will just have a look at the swatches for these as well so you can see what they look like just with the parchment, just done with the white work, of course, bringing the detail out with your tool. So there we go, there's one. You can see one side of the plant. In fact, we've got 2 plants. We've got one plant this side and, of course, one plant this side. And the cat's on the chair, the one that's saying, what are you playing at? Come on, behave yourselves. Just sit down and relax for a minute. You can see a couple of plants, one either side on there as well. Love the chair with the detail on the chair. Of course, there we are. We've got Comfy Cat there, sat being lazy. Now, what's the cat doing on the side of the chair? Has he seen something or is he going to play a trick? I don't know. Maybe he's going to jump on top of him and make him jump, I don't know. There we've got the little cats. Oh, the cat sat at the top of the chair, one on the arm, and there's one at the bottom as well. There's got 3 individual cats in there. Love the cushion detail on the chair itself. And you can see you've got the plant at one side here as well. So again, you can match that with one of the other plates. Again, you've got the options there, haven't you? I've just got to pick up this sample again just to show you. I love this. I think this is so clever. Joining 2 of the plates together again as well. How beautiful is that? Oh, do you know what? Apparently it's a glaring of cats if they're not sure of each other, don't know each other. Do you think they know each other or not? There's a whole host of, they're friendly cats, aren't they? They really are. You can have as many cats in there as you want. You can add more than that if you want as well. Now then, the last part of the collection would be Man's Best Friend, again available individually. So this is where the dogs come into it. Now you've got the houses, you've got the little people in here. Again, if you just wanted to use the houses, you could do. You don't have to put the characters and the pets in there at all. Love this sample. Just got to show you this one again, because look, we've got the buildings there, we've got the lady with a dog, we've got a man with a dog there, but inside, teeming with those comfy cats as well. What a beautiful sample that is from Glen. Gorgeous. So they are the full collection, details on the screen. Let's just remind you what you're getting here. 12 of the baby plates. Really, you're only paying for 9 of those. And don't forget, with the Freedom Frenzy, if you're already a Freedom member, you're going to get £6.97 reduced from that price. So it's going to bring it down to £33.42. Wow. Now, if you are applying for the Freedom Frenzy, you must put that code in there, and you can't take the flexi option. It's got to be £40 as an individual payment, but there you go. You can certainly spread the cost, can't you? If you're not a Freedom member already, then you can use the Freedom Frenzy code, and of course, you will become a Freedom member for the next month and longer if you don't want to opt out, of course. Now, we have also got the dies to go with those plates. These launched, was it January, Paul?
Yeah, I think it was about January. Yeah, it was definitely earlier this year. What month are we in now? I don't know.
I think we're still in March.
I think they launched they were the January one-day special. So you've got a set of 4 of the larger dies here, which are 3 3/4 inches in size. It's square, and basically it works out. You're paying for, you're getting 5. But you're paying for 4.
Wonderful.
Okay. So also you've got the 4 larger ones, and then as we move, so we've got the beautiful sunshine first, then you've got the cows in the field, then we have the country cottages, and then as we follow along towards the next one, we're taking a nice slow walk in the countryside. And then we've got the, I forgot what this one's called now.
Oh yes, you've got the, yes,
and then at the end we've then got the quartet. So the quartet is 4 individual dies, and they're 2 by 2. And what's great is that you can build up some beautiful pictures with those as well. So these are great for your tags, for bookmarks.
They are, aren't they? They really, really are. I love the idea how you can tessellate these as well, Paul, because there is a certain sequence, isn't there? There
is, and when you look at the packaging, it says number 1, 2, 3 and 4, so you can see exactly how they work. And then, so if we look at these that have just been die cut out, so this is cut out on black with the white behind it, and then we turn it round, and you can see how different it looks.
Doesn't it look different?
Cut out. So then we've got the next one. So this is the country, driving the country, and then we turn that one round. But it's amazing. But what I love about with our dies, they're aperture dies, and what I mean by that is whatever size card you cut them into. So this is the quartet one that you cut into. You've got instant artwork.
Yes.
So again, this is it in the white.
These are great to stencil through as well, aren't they?
Yeah, you can stencil through these as well. So again, this is sunshine. I love this one, really, really nice. And then turn it round, and then in the white. And then finally, you've got the country cottages. But again, when you look at them, you've got the snippability. So if you only wanted one cottage in there, you could cut out the cottage by snipping it out.
Yeah.
And then we turn it round, and there it is in the white.
Do you know, they're stunning just in the black and white, aren't they? But once you start to add your papers behind as well,
and this is gorgeous.
Colour.
Look at this. This is from Sheila, Sheila Metzler. And what she's done, she's combined all 4 of the larger ones together to create sort of beautiful wall hanging. And this is using the Toscana petite toppers as well, just to pop behind that. Where should we go? Should we go that way? There we go.
Do you know, I love the choice of the papers here, how they've been picked to work with the individual images. It works so well. Just beautiful. Well, don't forget you are getting all 5 of those die sets, but essentially only paying for 4 of them. You're saving £15, and you've got flexi buy option on this one as well. 2 payments of £29.98. 302700. Now, and we do have the folders that fit the dies, don't they? Can we mention these?
So these, we've got 2 folders in the set. It's got the beautiful fresh cut die branding down the side of it. And you can see here where I put all the dies in from all the dies we've got on the show, and you can see it's great for indexing as well. I mean, I've been quite sort of frugal with them. I put one die per pocket, but you could easily put them back to back as well.
You? Definitely. So you're only going to use half of the sleeves then if you're going to do it that way. Great buy again. You get two of these for the dies. Just make sure you're picking the right one for the dies and the right one for the plates, of course. £13.96 if you're going for these. 735326. Now the cats and dogs, they're also available for you with, of course, our dies, which again, we've seen these, Paul, earlier on in the year. They are absolutely fabulous. So you've got the same detail in there, but as you say, with the baby plates, you've got the options of moving things. But with the dies, I mean, you've still got so many options as well. You can still tessellate these. You can still use them as your stencils as well. Put your papers behind there. Really play around with your colours.
That's right. So again, beautiful aperture dies. So it's instant artwork. And this time what you've got two of the larger dies, and then you've got the set of the 4 little quarterets. They're just beautiful artwork. And again, to have that snippability, perfect for paper piecing or trap the scrap, as Barbara calls it now.
Definitely.
And it's just, they're beautiful.
They really are. You can really go to town with the paper piecing on those chairs, couldn't you? I love this sample as well. How clever is this? Talking about snippability, then of course you've got it here. Look, cutting out that chair there. Love those cats.
Really gorgeous, aren't they? Really playful looking.
They really are. And that's a nice mix, that one sample of the larger plate, and then you've got the quartet being used there, three of the pieces from them. And then something completely different, Paul, if you're looking at design. Look at this one.
Look at that. Just so again, D sort of paper piece to different areas.
That is so clever.
And again, you can have them crisp and clean, or you can go, I mean, look at this for sparkle.
That is
so
gorgeous.
That's just on some sparkle.
Sheila's, that one.
Glitter card.
And the next one's very clever. I like this one from Jane.
This one's nice, but you need to open this one as well.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Not seen
so
inside
again,
this
so
yet.
Jane's cut the cats out of the actual dies with a really nice background.
Wow, how clever is that?
And then she's created a pop-out by, again, tessellating them in the middle to create the larger scene.
Wow, so you've got the centre of the plant, which is the fold there. Isn't that clever? So effective. And those little individual cats just make the finishing touches, don't they?
Absolutely.
They really do. So that's your Comfy Cats option. Same item number, of course. We've also got Man's Best Friend. So if you want the dogs involved, this is the one with the little houses, the dogs and the characters. But again, with snippability, you can take the characters out if you wanted to. Use the little dogs and the characters separately. So you've got lots and lots of options again here.
So does that mean, because it's under the same product code, it's one P&P, and then if you was a Freedom Club member, there's no P&P.
That's right.
But if you became a Freedom Club member, then you get the Freedom Frenzy.
If you're spending £40 or more.
Which it would be if you bought both of them, because that'd be £65, wouldn't it?
Would. Just bear that in mind, bear that in mind. I know it gets complicated, but just bear it in mind. Remember, if you're already a Freedom member and you're going over that £40, we will be reducing your basket by £6.97. That is gorgeous, I love that.
Beautiful colourways. Again, it's the designer papers that really bring that one to life.
Really does, doesn't it? How different all the samples look.
I know, it's
That's
great.
very clever as well.
So again, this is building a scene using the 4 little quarterets.
Oh, really lovely.
And again, the snippability, when you look at this one, there's no outer frame on this one. So you've got the individual houses.
You have. Do you know, I'm just going to show this one as well. Because again, using the quartets there, but also if I open this up, I'll just show you
again, so you've got the gatefold on the outside, the different elements, and then you've got the beautiful main one again, and the beautiful designer paper, that's from Sarah Brennan.
Those designer papers are just stunning, aren't they, with these dies? They really are.
They just bring them to life, and that was one of the reasons. For example, when we brought out the aperture dies, that's when we launched the 12x12 designer papers as well, because they make a beautiful insert to add that little bit of luxury to it.
Wow. Lots of options for you. 585100 if you want to go for those. Choose the option or options that you want, of course, and do bear in mind those discounts if you've got that basket above £40. Now, perhaps you need some more parchment. We do have a bumper pack available for you. There's 250 sheets here, 150 GSM, that's the weight of it. It works out at just 36 pence per sheet. Now, maybe you've got lots of friends or into Groovi parchment as well. Maybe you want to split this down, maybe just stocking up for yourself and you want to make sure you've got plenty in stock, because at this price, it really is a bargain. 2 payments of £44.50 if you want to take the flexi-buy option. Straight away, you qualify for Freedom Frenzy there as well. 618981 is the item number. So if you're going for Freedom Frenzy, Freedom members, well, we can bring that price down even more. It would work out at per sheet just 32 pence per sheet.
That's really good.
That is really, really good, isn't it? That's amazing value.
It's great if you belong to like craft clubs or stuff like that, or you've got friends that you all parch together, then buy it between you and split it.
Yeah, definitely. I think I need to restock on that today.
It's one of those things you always need parchment.
Yeah.
Groovi.
Take advantage of the savings. Take advantage of the event while you can as well, because every bit of saving helps.
Okay, so where's me? Right. So what I've done, I mean, you're not going to see much of the line art because obviously it's white on white, but you can just really sort of see the difference with the colour, with the pencils and how soft. And I've put a darker blue just to go around the outside. Okay. So again, you could leave it completely clear and just put a beautiful designer parchment paper behind it to bring it out, but to colour it just really makes a difference.
That looks so nice now that you've blended that.
The blending really does make a difference. And do you know what? With the blending, what I love about it is that you don't have to be good at colouring in.
No.
You really don't.
Well, we saw how you just
scribbled
areas, scribbled areas
and the
colour.
Pencils are going to last longer as well.
Yeah.
Because you're not using as much of the lead. But one of the great things also is if, for example, I've gone over the edge, then what I can do, or I'm thinking, well, I've done a blue armchair, but I don't really want a blue armchair now.
Oh.
I want a red armchair. Okay. Then I take an eraser pencil.
You can take the colour out.
And I can take it all out and start again. And you can only really do this with the pencils. So if, for example, I got carried away with my colouring in and I'd gone over the edge, then I can use the eraser pencil to go along the edge just to tidy it up.
Ah, yep.
Or if I've gone on too heavy with the colour and I want to take some on, I could go... We've got these erasers on the website. They're part of the... we did recently launched the Waimea Falls and Toscana designer parchment, and we did a bundle where you got the eraser pencil as well.
Oh, lovely.
But you can see how I've just taken some of that colour off as well.
They're well worth having, aren't they? And again, if you wanted to, you've gone with the dark blue around the edge, if you decided that needed to be a total contrast, you could just take away the edge.
Or if I've used the designer parchment and I don't want to do any colouring in, then I can take the colour out of the designer parchment.
Yes.
So it's a great eraser to have.
Lovely.
Now, rather than spend obviously all the time colouring in, Karen has very kindly
bless her, Karen. She's worked very hard, hasn't she?
So again, if I bring that white, so you can see now what Karen's done. So we've got the blue sofa, armchair, we've got the red that ties in with the curtains, and then she's done the colouring in. So I just wanted to show you a few little tips and tricks. See this beautiful edge, how we create that edge, how we've put pattern in the carpet.
Oh, I didn't even notice that at first.
See,
so you could do that onto the chairs
You could do that onto the chair as well. And that's all done with the actual pattern part of it is done with the basic grids.
I see.
Okay. So should we put some more pattern on the carpet?
I really like that actually.
It's really nice, isn't it?
Brings the
and
carpet
again,
out,
as you say, you could tie it in, you could put it in the curtains.
Yeah, that's true.
So it sort of ties in with the armchairs. So what we're going to do, we're going to bring the plate mate in from the starter kit. And then on the show, we've got a set of 2 basic grids. We've got straight and diagonal.
Lovely. Now, we do have details for those. Bottom of the screen. You're getting both of those plates there for £23.98, 895930.
So what we're going to do, we're going to go with the diagonal. And the diagonal, see, I can just about see this on here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to my light panel and we'll see the difference. So if we can come in closely on the overhead to see that you can see it. Shall I hold it up to camera 3? Should I do that? If I hold it up to camera 3, so you can sort of just about sort of see. There we go. Camera freeze. You can just about see the grid in the background, can't you?
Yes, you can see it, yeah.
But obviously, why make it difficult for yourself? If you've got the light panel, then work on the light panel. Bring that up to full brightness.
Okay.
And now, whoops, he says, 1, 2, 3. Now I can see the grid a lot more clearly.
Ah.
So I'm going to tape it down with my Groovi tabs. And the Groovi tabs come in the accessories kit.
Lovely, which are totally reusable a number of times.
And then this time I'm going to use the number 2 tool from the starter kit. So what you're going to do is start to create the pattern. See, so it's like a little flower.
Do you know, it's so effective, Paul.
And it's so easy to do. So then you can just go in.
Do you know, it's clever because if the chair leg or the plant pot was stood over a bit of pattern, you can just have a little bit of the pattern showing as well.
Yeah, so we could do that here. So you go 1, 2, 3, do that there. So that's now coming out from behind. So you can just infill with the, so rather than use it as a piercing grid, we're using it to emboss pattern. And again, you could put this, as you said, on the armchair, or you could do it on the cat as well. If you wanted to have a really funky, trendy cat. So it's just another way of using the grids to add a little bit more design to what potentially is sort of a plain area if you didn't want to colour it in. Okay, so should we do some perforating? And I want to show you how we created this lovely frame around the outside.
I love how the windows have been cut out as well.
So what we're going to do is I'm going to bring into play my super foam. I'm going to keep the light panel on.
Okay.
Okay, so we've got the super foam, which you can see, oops, sticky's the wrong way. And we're going to perforate from the front.
Right, okay.
Because when you perforate, what happens, where you've punctured through the parchment, it's sort of like scratchy on the back. And obviously you don't want that scratchiness on the front of your card.
Okay.
So we always perforate from the front.
Right, okay. So it's an important step to flip your
parchment over. And you'll only do it a couple of times and then you'll feel, ooh, but then, yeah. So what we're going to do to create this beautiful sort of effect is we're going to use our Pico V tools.
Okay.
And we've got these on the show, and it's a set of 3 different sizes, and they were tools that we launched since owning Pergamano.
Right, okay.
Because there's a tool called an angle tool that gives you that same effect, but when you Pico cut the point on the angle tool, it looks like a castle turret.
I remember you saying about that before.
Because Barbara, when we first brought them in, and Barbara was sort of saying she expected to get that Pico cut at the tip. And she went, she wasn't impressed with it. So she had a word with the lovely Linda Williams, and she said to Linda, I want a point at the end. So Linda went away, came back, and she went, this is the answer. So you've got 3 different sizes. If I take the caps off, I'll do these so that I don't perforate my fingers. And then what we'll do, if I bring a black mat underneath, then we should be able to see the difference. So that we've got the large, okay, let's try and know that. So we've got the large one, we've got the medium, and then, there we go, and then you've got the small one as well. So it's great because the small one can sit inside the larger one, and you can do some beautiful designs like diamonds by just rearranging it. You can do stars and everything else. And then at the end of each of the tools, you've got the symbols, and then they're numbered 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, and 3.
Lovely.
So you can just about see those just there. Okay.
Lovely.
So we're going to use the large one. So let me just pop the caps back into place there. So
just while you're doing that, Paul, we've had a question coming actually from Linda. And Linda's asking a question about the folders. Yeah. With the folders, do you leave the plates in the plastic covers, or do you take the plates out of the packaging?
Take it out of the packaging. So what you would do, what I've done for display purposes, I have actually left them in there, so it means that somebody in the office hasn't got to repackage them. But what you would do, get my fingers in there. Oh, I did take them out. So what you would do, you take it back, turn that over,
Okay.
and then pop that in, and then the little sticker label you would stick on the outside.
I
so
see.
you know exactly where to go.
Right.
Yeah, when you've used it. So I just left them in there because it was just easier to do
Good
that.
question though, Linda. Thank you for that. Always worth asking anything.
Absolutely.
We're happy to
No
help.
question is a silly question if you don't know the answer.
Lovely.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Paul.
There we go. Awkward trying to do
me
it.
to do
yeah,
that?
go there. You do that and I'll do some perforating.
Trying to do everything back to front, aren't you?
Right, okay. So what we're going to do, I've got my super foam, and I'm going to take my tumble dry. This is the tip I got for Linda Williams. If you pop your tumble dry sheet on your super foam, and you lay your parchment on top, this is where the Groovi guard really comes into play. And then what I'm going to do, see where we've got the hole down here?
Yeah.
I'm going to go back in to the hole we've come out of, and then we're going to perforate. Okay. Now, every time you...
One go, you've done that whole
Yeah, you've done all of that. And the design is already there, so you haven't got to worry about sort of getting it level. And with a multi-needle tool, it can really pull the parchment. But by putting the tumble dry sheet underneath, what it's doing, it's lubricating those needles every time you perforate. So it makes it easier.
So it's much slicker.
Yeah. I mean, we do a product called Pergasoft, which is like a little tin of sort of like wax that you can dip the needles into. But for me, this is so much more quicker. Now, before I get to the end...
It's very easy, just put that sheet under there, isn't it?
Yeah. What I'm going to do, I'm going to come in from this end now.
Okay. Because
what I can do is, just in case it doesn't join up, what I can do... See, there we go. So there... See there, where there's a bit of a gap? I don't know if we can see that. If I go like that, can we see where there's more of a sort of a gap between the two perforations?
I see.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So what I can do is go now in the middle of that, and in the scheme of it, it's really not going to show.
Nobody's going to pick that out, are they?
So that's how we get the beautiful sort of frame around the outside.
Lovely.
But if we notice that in here, we've got these little patterns. And that's using the diagonal grid as well. Ah. So just to show you on that.
Of course, you do get both of the grids together, don't you, in the bundle?
So you get the straight and the diagonal. We use the diagonal to create the flower. Okay. And then all we're going to do is we can look at the design underneath. What I found it was easier was going across the top edge.
Is that because you can line up?
Yeah, I just found it easier, and we're going to use the number 2 tool. And again, I flipped it over so we're working on the back, and it just happens that that fits perfectly within that particular design.
Oh, wonderful.
And all I'm doing is just
pushing
in.
So always emboss from the back and...
and perforate from the front.
From the front.
Yeah. So we're just going to go like that.
And again, quick to do.
It really is quick. There's really, once you get your eye in, and for me, the light panel makes a big difference. So you're just going to go there. And what you do is you go all the way along. I want to do some pico cut. I think we're only going to get Groovi in this hour. I think dyes will have to come in the second hour. So you can see now, as we go along, that's where I need to go in. But I could leave that out. I don't need to put
a difference it makes,
design.
Paul, doesn't it? It really does.
And it ties in then with the carpet, so to speak. Okay. So should we do some cutting?
Yes. Yes, please.
Okay. So we've got 3 different types of scissors in the Pergamano range. We have the ring lock scissors. Okay. We have the exclusive scissors. We also have the Perga cutters, or squizzers, as I like to call them. Barbara uses the exclusive, and then I go between the ring lock and the Perga cutters. Okay. Because my fingers are more chunkier, I find these are more comfortable for a lot of the cutting.
Yes, the holes in the handles are bigger,
so if I go there, if I then come over to here, my fingers fit, but they're a lot more comfortable there. And then if I'm going to do a lot, then this is if people sort of struggle holding scissors, then it's just a case of sort of squeezing.
Great to have those different options again, isn't it?
And then you'll notice that all of the scissors have got really fine points.
Yeah.
And it's those points where the main cutting happens.
Okay.
They're not like scissors that you would use to cut paper or cards or anything like that, because the sharpest point is at the end of those.
And they are really sharp. And you've got that curve on there as well.
So you've got that curve. So if I turn those to the side, you'll see that all of them have got that natural curve. Ooh. Okay. So you can see there you've got those curves.
Lovely. Okay. It really is. You need the proper job for the proper tool for the job this time.
There's two different ways of using them. You can use them as what we call the spoon position, where the curve goes up, or you can use them in the fork position where the curve goes down. Now, when I first started to learn picot cutting, we wasn't aware that Pergamano had these, because we didn't own Pergamano at the time. So Barbara and I learned on the exclusive scissors, and we watched this YouTube video, and this woman was just doing it, repeated it again, and an hour in, she was still saying the same thing. But we was waiting for it, what else can happen? So again, there's no right or wrong way on which way you go. It's what works better for you. And I learned the same as Barbara by holding the parchment in my hand, which meant that I could gauge how far the tips of those scissors went into. Because if you go in too far with the scissors, what happens is the inside of the blade just cuts the perforations and you don't get that picot finish.
I see.
But I now, just for comfort, I prefer to work on the flat. So I've got the picot foam.
Okay.
And if you've gone for the Picot V tools, then what we suggest is you do the peaks on all of them first, before working your way round.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start here and I'm going to work down this way. So I hold my scissors in the spoon position and I come in underneath and I hold the scissors like that, and it gives me a bit more balance. So it's the tip of the scissors that go in, and then I'm just going to gently squeeze and then snip. What you don't want to do is if you go in too far, it's going to cut the parchment. Okay, so we're just going to go along. And I say it took me 6 months to learn that I was happy with.
Do you know, I remember the first time I had to go with the scissors. It was live on air with you, Paul, and I was a little bit aggressive with my scissors.
You were, that's right. I remember that now.
But I have practiced since, and I think I've got it. I use the essential scissors.
Yeah.
The exclusive, sorry. And I find those really comfortable, actually. But it is nice to have the choice of the different types.
And again, because everybody's different, and what you'll notice that what I'm doing now is I'm just going in the same direction. Rather than keep turning the parchment, I'm just going in the same direction to do all down one side.
Yeah, great tip. That parchment's not moving at all. It's just the movement with the scissors itself, and the parchment stays put until you're ready, of course, to go down the other side.
So I've done that side there. So if I now turn it around, my hand's comfortable in the position that it's working at. So therefore, if my hand's comfortable, I'm going to enjoy the experience a lot more. So, and then I'm just going to go along.
That is a good tip, Paul.
And it's just, you really
get into a rhythm, don't you?
You do, yeah, and you know how far to open the scissors each time. What I always suggest, before you go in and start working on your masterpiece, just do a line of perforations and practice. It's like a warm-up. Apparently, if you go to the gym or something, you're meant to sort of warm up first before you...
I love how you say apparently.
So I've heard, yeah. So you're meant to... So treat
Someone's told you that then,
yeah,
Paul.
someone's told me that. So treat sort of your picot cutting as if you're going to the gym. So your warm-up would be going along a straight line. So... Because it just gets your hand into that rhythm,
No, I totally understand that.
Yeah, and then I've just missed that one just at the end. I'll just bring that one in there.
So it doesn't come away, just check the area and then just snip it. Don't just tear away.
Still missed it. Hang on. Should put my glasses on. That's why I didn't do that.
Warm up first, Paul,
I didn't warm up first, and I didn't do that outer line either. That's why it didn't work.
No wonder.
It definitely wasn't going to work.
Ah, there we are.
Go.
Look
so
at that.
Now You can see.
That's such a lovely effect, isn't it?
See,
Really
and it's
is.
really simple because you've got the Pico V tools to create a shape, and then you've got the grid to infill with the pattern if you want to. I mean, you don't have to Pico cut. I mean, it looks quite nice, just perforated.
It does actually, yeah.
And with the Pico V tools, it's using a fine needle.
Yes.
So if you were struggling to do your perforating, your Pico cutting, then what you can do is you can go in with a one needle tool, the bold, and you can re-perforate. So if I go, I need the white foam underneath. Let's pop that there.
Again, perforating your back with the front facing you now.
Yeah. So let me just show you the difference in the size of the perforations.
Oh yes. Yeah, there's quite a marked difference, isn't there, when you see it?
So you can see there the difference in the size of the perforations as against to using the tool. So if you are struggling to do your Pico cutting, you can always go in and re-perforate with a one needle bold tool as well.
Lovely.
And you'll get a different finish.
Perfect. Well, again, so many options. I'm just going to show again the finished card sample here. It is absolutely beautiful, isn't it? Remembering using from the comfy cards from the full collection, or if you want them individually, two of the plates there have been used without, I'm going to say join because it's the only way I can think of it, but you can't actually see any join whatsoever.
No.
It's just seamless. It really works so beautifully. That is a stunning sample, it really is. Now let's give you another reminder of that collection, of course, because it's not just about those comfy carts, is it? We've got the room with a view in there as well. We've got the man's best friend also there for you. In fact, let's go through those figures again. You're getting 12 individual plates with the full collection there, but really you're only paying for 9 of those, but it gets better because we have got Freedom Frenzy going on. If you're a Freedom member, so you've already got that free postage, we will take £6.97, the price of the Freedom for the month. To bring the price down, we'll take that away to £33.42. Wow, that really is incredible, isn't it? So even if you forgot to
quote that code, the £40.39 is the equivalent of 2 sets.
Yes.
So even if you forgot that, for whatever reason.
Amazing prices, but don't forget it because it will bring that price down further. Non-Freedom members, you can put that code in as well. You can then opt into your Freedom Club for a month. It will continue over unless you want to opt out. Give it a go for a month, see how you feel, see what you save there as well. Now you need to spend £40 plus to get that, so you don't want to take the FlexiBuy option if that's going to bring the price down below £40. Let's just go through 1 or 2 more samples again, just to show you various different ones from the whole collection here. So this one, I love this, Paul, because it does show
great. Yeah.
Man's Best Friend, and also we've got comfy cats in here as well. It's such a clever way of using the plates, it really is. Now we are being counted out shortly, so I'm going to try and grab 1 or 2 we haven't seen if I can, Paul, as well, because you know, it's fair to show as much as we can. This is one from Josie as well. This is a room with a view. You've seen all of those designs there.
Gorgeous.
I didn't mention what it was, Paul. It was where you were putting the
look
car.
Look at this one. This one's clever. This one has got the
I've just
walking
spotted
the
it.
dogs as well.
It has, hasn't it?
Wow, I've just noticed that.
Oh wow! And as I've been counted out, I'll just keep showing you. So just keep going. We've got much more to come, though. Paul, thank you very, very much.
Thank you. I'll be back at 2.
Stay with